to another episode of Go Ape Podcast. I'm Jon Randall. With me as always,
Brandon Gehringer.
How's it going, man?
It's going okay. How's it going with you?
Pretty good. We went a little long last week, so this week's going to be a little bit shorter. So here comes the music.
Go Ape.
Yep, Go Ape.
Go Ape. Oh, the movie sucked.
That's
Oh yeah.
it.
By the way, the movie's terrible.
That's the whole podcast.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers is a terrible film. Go Ape.
Okay, Go Ape.
Yeah.
All right, well, another good show. We've done it again. Magic. We bottled lightning once more.
Classic Go Ape.
Oh,
We're
man.
at 99 Facebook likes. One more.
God, we're so close.
One more, we get 100.
Someone, please tell your friend to
It's
like
gonna
us.
happen. It's gonna happen this week. I'm certain.
We'll see. It's taken a long way to get from like 90 to 100.
And we did have another person on Twitter say that they're listening to the show, and it's made them watch Planet of the Apes movies.
That's
or
great.
Go back and watch them again, I guess.
That's good.
Yep.
So
And they love it.
they went back and started from the beginning of our podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
This person,
they
I guess.
said that they love the podcast and that they've gone back to watch the movies.
I didn't see any of that this week.
It was on the Go 8 podcast Twitter.
I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you handle the social media aspect of our podcast.
That I do.
I have to do all the heavy lifting over here. I will say, the hardest part of your job, though, is having to find a picture every week to put on that Twitter page.
It is challenging.
So it's like what picture really
And it's gotta be big
sums
enough.
up this movie.
It's got to look good enough, you know?
Yeah.
Some,
I think you've got the one for this week. Easy.
I don't know what to do with this one.
So
what's going? Well, let's talk. You got anything to talk about?
the only thing I want to know is why'd you make Hulk Hogan a racist?
It's just what I do.
Thanks a lot, dude. He was my childhood hero.
I think he was my childhood hero.
He was your childhood hero.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for your loss.
See, a lot of people defending him.
Defending him?
Yeah, saying that he's not a racist. That's not the Hulk Hogan they knew. A lot of guys from wrestling and
that's not the Hulk Hogan I know.
yeah, I guess
that's madness.
Just people they've come across that they don't.
Well, my condolences to Trey. I think he's also a Hulk Hogan fan, so I'm sorry.
Mean, every wrestling fan I would think would be a Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. I mean, it's just sad when that happens to people that are like that. You know,
I guess.
I don't
know. I've already, like I said, he's already a stinkhead because of what we've talked about before with his son and
yeah.
I just listened to that podcast the other day where we talk about Hulk Hogan and how his son and him trying to finagle some deal.
Yeah, I guess here's the bottom line. Obviously, I'm the one who loves Hulk Hogan. It's been well documented on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed Hulk Hogan, and I saw him whenever I was a kid.
It's just one of those things that as a kid, he was like my favorite wrestler. Of
course,
I mean, I grew to like other wrestlers, but I've always still liked him. He made a mistake. He dropped a lot of words he shouldn't have dropped, allegedly.
I've not heard the audio.
I still haven't heard audio. I've only read transcripts. But
I've not really been putting a lot of effort into any of that stuff. Like anytime people do stuff like that.
You told me about it like yesterday, so I was like quickly to investigate.
I ain't got time to listen to that stuff or watch videos of people being assholes. I'm just like, whatever.
It's just sad when you see that happen to somebody who's like supposed to be like a role model for all these kids.
He's no John Cena. He's no John Cena.
Well, few people are. Nobody is.
Yeah, nobody is.
I mean, the dude's. Well, we could go on about John Cena and what he does for Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, he's granted more wishes than anybody ever.
Yeah, that's like pretty cool.
Over 400 something.
Yeah, that's huge.
I saw one this week. Actually, they posted one from ESPN. Tweeted this week one of the ones that John Cena did this very week. But anyways, it's just it's just sad that a lot of kids look up to him, and then now they have to be like, well, why is he not with the WWE, and why is he not doing stuff with them anymore? And
it's just
some parents gonna have to explain that to kids.
I guess, but you know what the thing is, man? Anymore, this just happens all the time. You got Bill Cosby, him, who else? I mean, there's so many people that have disappointed, have been put on a pedestal, and then they're absolute assholes.
I've always been a firm believer it's not a celebrity's job to be a role model. That's not their responsibility.
No. Definitely not.
I mean, that's on parents.
It's a byproduct.
But the fact of the matter is, to a lot of people, these people are role models.
And they can be.
And they could be.
If they do the right things, like John Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
talking up John Cena, but 50 episodes from now, who knows what he might do.
Exactly. That's the thing, man. It's just these people, because we put them up on this pedestal and then we expect them to be, so amazing, great people, we just assume. But, I mean, this has happened time and time again.
I got to be honest, I'm not really surprised. He's from a generation where
Yeah.
was more prevalent.
Yeah.
Because he's 61 years old.
Still, I mean, I don't know. I don't really, I mean, it's, like I said, he was already tainted in my mind, but, it's unfortunate. There was nobody like Hulk Hogan back in the day when he ran out. There's just no way you couldn't like him. I mean, the fucker ripped his shirt off. It was awesome.
Well, WWE, quickly got ahead of this. They took swift action to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But it's like you said to me earlier tonight. It's very strange how they're trying to erase all existence of Hulk Hogan. Like,
good luck.
You can't do that.
You got to get in our brains.
I mean, you can't erase Hulk Hogan.
He made you. He made a lot of what they are too.
I mean, not even just that, but like he's not. You just can't forget him. If you like wrestling, it doesn't matter. You could take somebody who's never watched wrestling in their life, and I bet you they know who Hulk Hogan is.
Of course. Well,
it's just like he's a wrestler.
Back in the day, I mean, he's one of the biggest names in wrestling, and I would put him up there with the biggest name in wrestling from those days. Who else is bigger? I mean, Macho Man was pretty cool, but I'm sorry, he's no Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulk Hogan had a friggin' like spaghetti machine you could buy. He had like his own.
Yeah. They approached him to do the George Foreman grill, and he passed on that to do an energy drink. It was an energy drink. Yeah. And then George Foreman took the George Foreman grill and put his name on it. That kind of worked out better for George.
Yeah, it probably did. But that's one thing. I think that Hulk Hogan is the biggest name ever back from those days back in wrestling. And the fact that he was still doing it today is pretty huge. Who else? I mean, I know Sting, but I mean, Sting's no Hulk Hogan. Who else is doing wrestling that's from back in those days?
I mean, still occasionally you'll see Ric Flair around, but I mean, he was in that.
He's
team.
Cool too, but he's still no Ric. I mean, he just.
I don't know. Personally, I would put Ric Flair right on par with Hulk Hogan, just because of how long he's been around.
Well, how long he's been around, but he was always a villain too. Yeah. Hulk Hogan was always the good guy. It seemed back in those days.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think he gravitated more towards that. I mean, he had his cool gimmick, and I mean, hell, he headbutted a Russian flag in the middle of the ring. He's a real American hero.
Oh, man. So you're telling me right now people in Russia are celebrating this downfall?
Probably so.
Well, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
That was USSR.
We're mourning you. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, you did.
You're done now.
You're done.
You're forgotten. Yeah, like this, delete. I just hit the delete key. I don't even know who we talked about for the last 7 minutes.
The clown with the broom comes out and just sweeps him off the stage.
Manny Pacquiao. he's the guy that's the janitor for him. All right. Well, so this week.
What else? Anything else?
I don't know. What? Did you have anything?
No,
this week?
Not really. I mean, the only thing that's other than that, Ant-Man's supposed to be a good movie.
That's what I heard.
Not supposed to be it's not like a big Avengers type movie.
I talked to one person who actually saw it, and their exact quote, I believe, was, "The movie was much better than I ever thought it would be."
That's good.
So
I heard it was it kind of hits on like Iron Man 1 level. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Good for them.
Did Richard tell you that of Richard's Comics and Collectibles?
On Lawrence Road in Greenville, South Carolina? I can't remember. I think so.
Not a sponsor.
Well, he was so packed full of people getting all sorts of comics and comic book
paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia. Yeah, like paraphernalia. Other than that, Floyd Mayweather's got a new fight coming up against Andre Berto.
It'll be a good fight.
It's an absolute clown shoes fight. It's an absolute joke fight.
Well, it is, but I will say Andre Berto's got about the same amount of knockouts as Floyd does, with about 25 less fights. So I'll give Berto that.
It's a joke fight, dude.
It's not. It will be a joke.
That's a terror. I never assumed that would happen.
Well, here's the thing. I don't fault Berto for taking it.
Of course not.
Everybody wants a piece of that Mayweather money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm sure
Mayweather knows he won't be hit.
I'm sure he's going to get between probably $5-10 million for that fight.
Berto won't even be able to touch Mayweather.
I would do it.
You won't be able to touch him.
I'll fight Floyd Mayweather.
You want to dodge around in a ring and run around. Plus, that's the problem too. Is so many people were so they laughed at the last fight Floyd did, that he ran around the ring. But that's what he does.
I would use the old Punisher that Moe used from The Simpsons. Boxing glove, barbed wire wrapped around it. Good. That's what I would use for the fight.
That's what I needed for you to use.
They don't let you use that no more.
I wish you would have used that on me instead of the fucking movie that we watched.
This movie, did it beat you over the head a little bit?
Yeah, I picked it too. Well, you suggested it. I picked it. I said, yeah, we'll do it. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake.
And I got to be honest, after watching this again, this is the first time I've watched it, probably since the last time you and I watched it, whenever that was.
Which was the first time I'd seen it.
Yeah, because I saw this in the theater when it came out, people. I hate to admit that, but I did. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, at 13, you wanted a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Sure.
It's what you wanted to see. Everybody was waiting on it. I still never got it.
No.
Didn't get that movie.
I guess Nintendo, and like they said, this movie made Nintendo never make a movie again.
Yeah, it's It's a horrible film.
But then again, their properties are, Metroid, which would be, of course, if it was done right, would be a great movie. So
you know who would direct that movie? You know who I picture directing that? Paul W.S. Anderson, the guy who does all the Aliens vs. Predator movies.
Jesus Christ.
He would do the Metroid movie.
Oh,
that's it. Resident Evil guy. That's
garbage.
who would do it.
He's garbage. He's a modern day, I'm surprised he doesn't have Roger Corman's phone number. He's right there. He's ass.
Wow, that's an insult to Roger Corman.
He was going to do a Castlevania movie, that guy. Can you believe that? Yeah. Shit. But yeah, they got Zelda, which of course, a Zelda movie, if it done correct. Those two properties would be great on film. And I know they,
especially with everything that's fantasy that's out now on TV and movies.
Nintendo's clueless.
You would think really, Zelda would be the one to go for.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's clueless. Just the fact that they're even contemplating putting out a system next year is an insult to, and all their fans will still eat it up. I'm done with Nintendo, big time. Done.
Well, they can afford to lose money. They're rich as can be.
They love doing it. They're very good at doing it. So I don't know how they're,
It's funny, man. You say that, but they're still the number one video company in the world. They're the most what's the word I'm looking for? Financially, I guess
stable.
Solvable. Yeah, stable. Company of all of them.
Well, this movie didn't help them very much. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, do you have the stat of what this movie cost?
Was it $42 million?
I think $42 million. And what did it make? Was it like $18 million?
Yeah.
It was less than half.
Yeah. And this is Super Mario Brothers from 1993. So, it's a rough one, man.
So you didn't see this when you were a kid?
No.
Were you in France at this time?
I possibly was in France. See, the thing is, we'd come back for, vacations or something, and I didn't go to the movie theaters. I might have seen that it was out, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't go see it. We didn't spend time, in the theater. I might have seen one thing when I was here. But this came out during a rough, a year of some big hit movies.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, this is another Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so it had to stand up against Jurassic Park,
no movie.
Doubtfire.
There should have been no movies that year. Just Jurassic Park, and that's it. Don't even touch it.
Yeah, it was $48 million. It made $20.9 million. 20.9 people, not 29.
That's really bad if you think about the property.
Yep. It had to go against Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Last Action Hero. These were all films that came out at the same time as Super Mario Brothers.
Well, Last Action Hero was obviously billed to be like that, but to be a big thing. But ooh. This. I'm going to say that this is definitely the worst video game movie ever made. No doubt. There's been other ones, obviously.
No doubt, my mind.
No doubt. Yep. I've never seen the Lara Croft, Tomb Raider type movies.
They're better than this.
Oh sure, this is the worst.
I've seen one of them, but I'll go ahead and say they're both better.
Resident Evil is a masterpiece compared to this. Masterpiece.
That's a stretch, but
what yield?
Let me throw this out at you real quick.
Right.
Was this film better or worse than Hudson Hawk?
It's better.
This is better than Hudson Hawk.
It's worse. Hudson Hawk is better.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go, people.
Yeah.
It was a long podcast last week, but we got to it.
Oh, no. This is much worse than Hudson Hawk.
You said you put this in top 5.
Oh, yeah. This is top 5 worst movies ever, probably.
I want to know what your 4th movie is, or if this is the 4th movie.
I don't know.
But, you're talking, there's only one other space up there with your top 3, so...
Well, and I'm saying, like I've always said, there's terrible movies out there, much worse movies, Birdemic, or any of these schlock pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But we've got to think about this, people. What it's making, what it's
property.
Doing, the property, everything involved in it, and what the fucking movie makers shit out at the end of the day. This is what we got, and this is what we got with freaking Battlefield Earth, D&D, Batman and Robin. It's the weight of the film and the push behind it, and that push is strictly sphincter ass, and that's what this movie is. It's terrible.
All right.
There's no redeeming qualities other than a song that you go, oh, great, I remember this. This is a cool song. That's it. But let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
There's a lot of history behind this movie, for starters.
Yeah. Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, you might as well.
All right.
You know more about it than I do. Other than I know that...
You just touch on a couple of highlights.
It's easy. This is another one of those things where people that were directing it had no clue what they were doing.
It was a husband-wife team.
Yep. Okay. And they got complete control away from Nintendo to be able to do what they wanted to do. No one had ever done this before.
They didn't want to put Mario and Luigi in their outfits.
Which is amazing. That right there would be like, you're fired. You know what I mean? Like you're done.
That's like saying, I think I want to make a Zelda movie, but I'm going to put Link in red.
Yeah, he'll be in red. Which, he's got his new suit. That's one of his suits. But still, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just normal story of rewrites, rewriting the plot, rewriting, the script, multiple hands.
Delving into rewriting the script as the movie's going on.
Yep. Letting the cast rewrite the script.
Yeah. You've got actors in the film that are basically saying, "Hey, we think our characters should be doing this," and doing complete rewrites around these guys' ideas.
Right.
You got Bob Hoskins, who has been quoted as saying this was the worst experience of his life.
Yeah.
Of his life, people.
Well, he got his hand broke, too, which doesn't help.
His hand broke. We saw that he said he got electrocuted. He got stabbed 4 times. The movie was so bad, and the script being rewritten during the movie, John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, in between takes, would basically sit in Bob Hoskins' trailer and drink.
Drink scotch.
All they did was drink. Yeah. They got drunk. Like half the movie that they filmed, they're drunk in the movie.
Well, he says, too, Bob Hoskins does, that, and of course he plays Mario, that he didn't want to become attached because the character would be, every day it was just something new. So he was just like, I'm just going to go with it. Every day, something new, nothing to grab onto. And they hired the art director from Blade Runner. Why do you get the art director from Blade Runner to do Mario is a bright, colorful game, and this is just incredible, bleak, terrible world that this whole movie's shot in. It makes no sense whatsoever.
So we got Bob Hoskins, who's an Englishman, playing an Italian. Mm-hmm. We've got John Leguizamo, who plays Luigi. He's Puerto Rican,
who I do not like.
Playing
I know
Italian.
You like him. I do not like John Leguizamo.
I love John Leguizamo. Now, granted, he has been in some real wretch.
He has no redeeming qualities. He has teeth that
Spawn.
He has teeth that look like daggers, and I can't stop looking at those jagged fucking teeth.
I like John Leguizamo. But yeah, he's playing an Italian also.
Right.
He's Puerto Rican. We got Dennis Hopper playing Koopa. For those of you that don't know, Koopas were turtles in the game. Or in Super Mario Brothers 2, he was the bad guy, but he was still dinosaur-esque. It's bad.
Attaching the movie to the video game is pretty much right out. It doesn't make you shouldn't even do that. Like, they went so far beyond the video game that it's just implied that it has nothing to do with the video game almost. Nothing. Other characters.
Yeah, they throw references throughout the movie throughout the movie they throw references to the game, but they're forced references.
Yes.
Because nothing else in the movie has anything to do with the game, so what's it matter?
And this is in that early 90s period where CGI was either you had tons of money to do Jurassic Park or you didn't have enough and it looked like ass. The 90s was full of bad tech, trying to do CGI, and ultimately aged very quickly in time, and that's what this movie's got a lot of it as well. It was micromanaged by these two idiots. More film companies came in to help them make the movie, and they were like, we want to film like a Mad Max style scene. Oh, cool. We want to film like a this type fight scene. Or we need another action scene. So they got different films, so it was all discombobulated, and you can see that in the film with weird scenes. Just a garish set. I mean, they filmed it in a cement factory.
Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Fuck. Okay, so we'll get on with it. So the movie starts off, and all you hear is the Mario Brothers music from the game.
Yep, and it opens up, and it's an 8-bit opening.
Yep.
Of a jungle.
Yep.
It's like an 8-bit rendering of a jungle with sky, and you've got a Brooklynite talking over it.
Yeah, it's like an Italian dude, like Italian-American guy talking about dinosaurs.
And the meteor that killed the dinosaurs, basically, the meteor that crashed into our planet and killed all the dinosaurs also split our planet and caused an alternate dimension to where not all the dinosaurs died off, but they ended up in an alternate Earth, and it drove the dinosaurs there.
Within a minute, the film is completely outside the realm of the video game. Instantly. As the viewer, as a kid, you're like, I know none of this. I can connect to any of this. It is ridiculous.
All right, so we're going to cut from that to not present day, but 20 years before the actual movie is going to start.
Yeah.
So we've got a woman, and she leaves this metal egg on a church doorstep.
Yeah, it's rainy. It's at night. She's got her short shorts on. She's got her tank top.
Yeah,
and it's the door is to a church.
Yes,
with nuns that open up the door. She knocks on it and runs off.
Yeah.
All right.
So inside the metal egg casing is an eggshell.
Yep, because they open it up, and it's a big... It looks like some sort of maybe a dinosaur egg.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, maybe?
Sure.
And the woman takes to the sewer.
Yeah.
All right. She's down in the sewer, and all of a sudden Dennis Hopper pops up, and she goes, Koopa!
Where's the rock?
He grabs her, and it switches back to the nuns, and a baby is born out of that egg.
Out of the egg. A human-looking baby.
Call the fucking police. That's what you do.
Call Jack Hanna.
Well,
I mean, call anybody.
Call an ambulance. You know what I'm saying? You've got an infant newborn baby that's popped out of an egg. What the... We'll just keep this. We'll keep this under wraps. No, the baby needs help. Like, it needs a lot of work. Like, you just don't sit there and say, let's not tell anybody about this. We've got a freak of nature in front of us in baby form, but we'll just keep it. Oh. And so there's like a rock slide or some underneath the sewer. There's some sort of like tumbling rocks or some balls.
Yeah, she pushes some wooden scaffolding.
It's very strong.
I don't know why it was there.
She's very strong.
And it collapses down on Koopa. And we never see her or Koopa again.
Modern day Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's what we switch back to.
20 years later, which is, I guess, the start of the movie, which is 1994 now.
Well,
or 1994.
It's 2015. It's the Mario Brothers plumbing is what we see. The house, the apartment of the Mario Brothers. And that's where we see Mario and Luigi.
Yep. As we said, played by John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins.
Right, and Bob Hoskins is British.
Yep.
And I think that his accent in this movie is atrocious.
Well, I put Bob Hoskins' Brooklyn accent is aces. Now, my autocorrect changed it to Bob Costas.
Okay.
Bob Costas' Brooklyn accent is aces.
He's also an asshole.
So congratulations to both of them.
Yeah, I thought his accent was horrible. When you say, soyvis, I mean, it's like so overdone. The soyvis. God almighty. Okay, so I got Gab written here. They talk about some shit.
Yeah, he's basically badgering Luigi about believing all this conspiracy stuff. Like, Luigi's one of these people who watches these shows, basically like Unsolved Mysteries, and
alternate
and he buys all these like Inquirer, newspaper rags that have got like all this shit in there. But the only thing you need to take out of it is he does make the off comment that one of those Inquirer type things says that's the one that's got the article about all the 7 missing girls from Brooklyn.
Right.
That's the only thing that'll come into play.
There's some
later.
girls that are missing, some ladies, and on the phone, Mario, they get a job they have to go do.
Yep.
And so they take off in their Mario Brothers van.
Yep.
It switches over to some sort of construction site.
Yep.
Where some Italian guys is what I got written.
Scapelli.
The Scapelli brothers, boys, guys.
Scapelli
dudes.
Construction. That's all I got.
And they're threatening some woman because I guess this woman, blonde-headed lady, she's younger. They found dinosaur eggs or something, fossils.
She's basically doing an archaeological dig.
Right, and this is in the middle of their tunnel system.
Yeah. He wants to basically erect a building or some other bullshit there.
It's been halted, I guess.
It's been halted because they found dinosaur shit here.
Dino eggs. I wrote dino a bunch in my notes. And so these are your typical Guido, big, thick-necked Italian guys. Their mouths covered in greasy marinara sauce. And so there's some guys that are watching her as she gets threatened by these dudes. She whatever.
She's like, I'm gonna go call the cops.
Yeah.
So she's got to walk apparently 8 blocks to get to a payphone.
Right. This is 2015, so she's got to go.
Was it 2015?
Well, it says Brooklyn now.
It's 1994.
But it says Brooklyn now. It means the movie's timeless. You could say it's now. And so there's some guys in the car that are watching the woman.
Yeah.
And you come to find out this is Spike and Iggy.
Correct.
Which are Koopa's henchmen. I don't know.
And yeah, you hear their conversation. Apparently, Koopa wants this girl.
Right. And me and you we've enjoyed Super Mario Brothers games. We've played most of them of the old days.
Yeah, I was gonna say
of the old days.
Up to Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. I've got a little bit of Mario 64 under my belt. A little bit of Mario Sunshine. Ass game.
I played a little bit of 64, but I never played anything past GameCube.
Yeah, and then so I mean, we enjoy Super Mario, and so we casually enjoy them. So they're watching her, and they're obviously part of Koopa's deal. And at this time, their brother's van has broken down. It's overheated.
Now, I think that's the scene where John Leguizamo slammed on the brakes and broke Bob Hoskins' hand.
Yeah, he had his hand on the side of the door, and the sliding door
came forward
and smashed his hand.
Yeah, so if you watch the movie, you'll see Bob Hoskins' hand allegedly is apparently in a cast.
Right.
The majority of the film that's colored flesh color.
Yeah.
And his hand's basically straight the entire movie.
I didn't look for it.
I never even noticed it.
I didn't look for it. I was trying to stave off bile in my gut. And so it's overheating, but it's right in front of Daisy. He's on the phone.
Mario told him, like, call our answer machine and see if we got any jobs.
Right, and so Luigi's listening to his thing. She shows up. He likes the way she's put together. She likes the way she's built. Lets her use the phone. And he overhears that her name is Daisy.
I put Luigi equals in love.
All right, works too.
Okay.
So obviously he likes her instantly.
Yeah.
And she needs a ride, and because they offer it to her. And Mario, he goes and gets some water, and he's going to, I guess, cool down their van.
He needs it for the radiator.
Yeah. And they give her a ride. At the end, Luigi's able to land a date with her.
Yeah, with Mario's help.
Yeah, with Mario's help. So it switches over to a double date with Mario, Luigi, Daisy, and Mario's girlfriend, who was a much hotter person than Mario could probably get. But that's just me.
He's dating above his grades.
Oh, yes. And, of course, they are eating Italian spaghetti foods.
Spaghetti.
Pastas and whatnot.
Yep.
And I got written here, of course, eating spaghetti. They're Italian. Luigi, of course, wants to walk her home. And that's for romantic reasons.
Okay.
And, of course, those dudes are watching from the car again. They've been following him.
Yeah, except they see Bob Hoskins now helping his date into the van, because they're going to take the van while Luigi is going to walk Daisy home. So they're looking at the van and they're like, "That's her." And the other guys, one of Iggy, let's say Iggy, says, "That's her." And then Spike's like, "No, that's not her." He's like, "Of course it is. She's in disguise." So now,
yeah, I guess. And the only thing that her hair, I guess, has changed. Maybe she's wearing a wig. Women have other features that can be seen and observed to be different.
Right.
Just the same as men.
Right.
These guys are idiots. They're what they are.
Okay.
She's completely dressed much differently than the way that woman was before, but it's all well and good.
Picture any wife from the movie Goodfellas, and that's how she's dressed.
Yeah. And so they're like, "We're going to go get her." And so when she's dropped off at her house by Marion, is what my autocorrect has, not Mario.
By the way, this movie was a real hell for us to type out.
Autocorrect was really trying to fight.
Autocorrect was fighting Koopa.
We went several rounds.
Luigi, Mario.
Yeah, everything.
Goomba.
Jesus Christ.
Yoshi. Yoshi. Our autocorrect was a real hell tonight.
So they grab his girl, Mario's girl.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yoshi's in the film.
And I don't really care about spoilers at all at any point in anything that we talk about.
Nobody's going to watch this. Not based on our review.
I'm definitely not watching it again. Never. So Daisy takes Luigi down to the below the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, to the dig site.
Everything in Brooklyn is within viewing distance of that bridge, right below.
And not just viewing distance. I would say you could throw a football and hit the bridge.
Oh yeah,
from everything that happens in Brooklyn.
I could throw a football at those mountains over there. And so she shows him down into the tunnels to find the strange new dinosaur bones that they've found.
Yeah, it's a dino fossil with an opposable thumb.
So yeah, that's different.
That's a big deal.
That's an evolved dinosaur.
That's a big deal because even apes don't have opposable thumbs.
You're wrong. Okay, they're about to kiss. Romantic. And you were really... I saw that you were really getting into that scene when they were about to kiss.
Chubs.
Yeah, I looked over and you were kind of shifting around.
Yeah,
shifting around.
I was kind of like I was turning over on my stomach on the couch and kind of just moving around.
And I was trying to not heave from seeing Leguizamo's teeth, his fucking dagger teeth. And then all of a sudden, water explodes out from where they're at as the Scapelli brothers have sabotaged this dig site.
Yeah, the Scapelli guys, because the dig site is located right next to a massive amount of pipes.
Yeah. With maximum pressure behind them.
Yeah, so they've opened some of these pipes up to flood the dig site and basically just go ahead.
Yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and fast forward and get to the end of this archaeological dig.
They want them out of there. Amscray.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's a cough.
So Daisy goes, "It's a good thing you're here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, why is that?" She's like, "Well, you're a plumber." And he goes, "Yeah, I know just what to do." They run all the way back to his apartment to get Mario.
It must be right around the corner.
He couldn't do this himself. I know just what to do. Let me go get my brother.
He's incompetent.
Yes.
Well, and plus Mario is the first one you select, so
it's true.
His skills are obviously better. And everybody knows that Luigi's better at kind of jumping and then kind of floating.
But just kind of moving your legs.
Moving your legs, and he floats. He jumps higher, and he kind of floats at a slower rate.
Right.
So, yeah. They go and get Mario. They bring him back. And Mario fixes it. Of course, the Koopa guys are watching. It showed them like down in the rocks or something, and they were watching. But didn't really show what they were looking at. They're talking about each other. I don't know. They're really distractions in the film, in my opinion. They sneak up on our boys, hit him over the head with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is also, by the way, many sound effects of cartoon variety in the movie.
Yeah, it's real overdose.
Yeah. And I guess it should be somewhat understandable because this is a video game movie, but it looks so gritty and dark that it shouldn't be there.
Well, my DVD sure looked gritty.
It looked like shit.
It's one of the worst transfers I probably own for a movie.
I hate it.
I mean, wouldn't you say?
Well, like I said, I think you've got so many... What you've got is a bad DVD quality, and you've got your TV, the PS4 is trying to like use all its techno wizardry, trying to make it look as best as possible.
All of its Western philosophies.
And it ends up just absolutely being a quagmire of shit.
Yeah.
Is what I think it happens. So knocks them out. They're probably killed in the real life. This is going to be a gritty world. Their skulls were just bad. They've got massive brain hemorrhages.
Well, not only that, but they dropped a light into water. Like they're electrocuted.
They're electrocuted.
Yeah. They're dead.
They grab Daisy. Okay? Our boys wake up. It was just a quick, instant, both of them were knocked out for the exact amount of time.
Right after they kidnap her, I put a lot of women being kidnapped for a kid's film. So we've already mentioned that 7 women have been kidnapped, and now we see her get abducted too.
Yes.
It's a kid's film, people.
And so they're chasing. They're looking down this like crevasse, if you wish.
Yeah.
And they can hear their screams of Daisy, and Luigi's screaming back, "Daisy, Daisy!" And then he goes, "Answer me!" I'm like, dude, you know that you've just been clobbered over the head. You can hear her screaming. Do you think she's really like not trying to yell back your name? Like, she's doing this on purpose? Answer me!
How many times do you think they said Daisy and Luigi in about that 5-minute span?
A maximum amount of times that you could do in a 5-minute span.
It was incredible. I mean, I even commented we should have probably just rewound it and counted. But like, I think him yelling Daisy and her yelling Luigi, I mean, I'm not even kidding people, probably 25 times a piece.
Yeah. And then, answer me! How dare you not answer me? You son of a... Okay. So, they go down this crevasse with water, pouring down it and stuff. It's very well lit, too. I don't know where this light came from down in here.
Where'd all that water come from?
The pipes, still.
That's the runoff from the pipes? The pipes they've already sealed off. That's just... There was that much water to basically create a waterfall effect.
The answer was in script 13, I believe. Oh, boy. And so they go down to the thing, and then all of a sudden her face appears in a rock wall.
Yeah.
It's a terrible CGI face from this time, 1993 is when it came out. And Luigi tries to grab her. Instead, he grabs this necklace that she's had, and it looks like a piece of like crystal type weird thing.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
It's a geode.
So he grabs her necklace, and she goes inside this rock wall. Well, Luigi's like, well, I'm jumping through. I'm going to go too. So he jumps, and he goes through the rock wall, and then Mario does, after some hesitation.
Well, Mario's afraid of jumping in the film.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to jump over this like little teeny tiny crevasse. He doesn't want to jump over it. And
he's portly.
He basically kind of tumbles clumsily through the wall.
This is the equivalent of Lara Croft being like, I don't like dark, scary places.
It's cool. Mario's not known for jumping.
No.
So he falls through a CGI hell.
It is a atrocious, garish-looking, computer-generated rock geo-world that is abhorrent to look at.
If you people have seen Spawn from 1998, it looks like the hill from Spawn, which, by the way, we're going to have to watch that at some point for this podcast.
Hell yeah. So, they wind up in... This is where I've got... I'm just jumping into this. They wind up underground where there are lots of people in this alternate world city. It's like a big neon cram-packed full of people. You have no clue, rhyme or reason what they're doing, where they're going, what they're about, what their lives are doing. There's
not only that, but they knew that they were way underground, And now all of a sudden they're in the middle of a city.
Yeah.
So I wrote, they've crossed into a whole world and don't stop for a moment to consider this because they're in hot pursuit of Daisy.
Yeah. And there's these vote for Koopa signs. You can see Dennis Hopper's face.
Yeah.
Him kissing babies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they look down from a tall walkway there. They can see Daisy. She's being pushed into a cab. And she looks up and she goes, Luigi? I'm like, yeah.
Who'd you think was yelling for you that whole time?
Yeah, you dumbass. He's been chasing after you.
I put Mario and Luigi are in Helltown.
Yeah, pretty much what it is.
This place is a real shithole.
I call it Allentown. All right, so they fall into trash somehow. It's like trash and fungus.
They basically fall off of a walkway.
They see two little dinosaurs fighting over something. It freaks them out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they're freaked out. They have these little dinosaurs. Understandable.
They're dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs. And it switches over to Koopa, and Koopa's talking to some broad. I never got her name. I call her throughout this thing. I call her Koopa's woman.
It was either Lita or Lena. I don't know. I never got her name the whole movie either. I never understood it.
Yeah, and they're talking about taking over our world, our dimension.
Yeah, I put Koopa's a germ freak first of all.
Yeah.
Because he's like washing his hands. The first thing you see, he's like freaking out about his hands. And then I put talking about how 65 million years ago they were thrust into this dimension while humans have all the resources.
Right.
And if they could just merge the universes back together, they'll be on top.
Because their planet is nothing but desert, except for this city. We find out
one city.
Yeah, we find out a little bit later on. After all these millions of years, if your planet is nothing but desert, you are all dead.
Yeah.
I don't know
what's been sustaining your life
all these years. You don't make it this far, pal. It doesn't make any sense. And of course, it's the exact opposite of the lush jungles that were during those times, 65 million years ago. So it's obviously the opposite, but the opposite doesn't actually work. So yeah, they're talking about taking over our world. And Iggy and Spike show up and they say that they've got the princess.
Yeah.
But they forgot the necklace.
Yeah, he questions, where's the rock?
Where's the meteorite? It's part of the meteorite that destroyed the planet and split the two dimensions apart and all that jazz.
And he needs the part to fit back into the original meteor, which has somehow survived. Mm-hmm. It crashed into the planet and it stayed whole.
Okay, here's one thing. Something can be in the ground for 65 million years ago because it's been entrapped by other debris, ground, dirt, and whatnot.
Sure.
But nothing that's like on a freaking necklace. Like, handled. Like, how has this stayed away? How has this been around for 65 million years outside? I don't know. Maybe they dug it and found it?
I don't know.
Where's the rest of this meteorite? If this little sliver can survive? I don't know.
So anyways, if they insert this sliver back into the meteorite, it will cause the two universes to meld, which is why he needs it.
Gotcha.
So we cut back to Mario and Luigi.
That's the heroes of our film.
They run into an old lady, and she's like, "Oh, you boys must not be from around here."
Yeah, and over the intercom, they're watch out for plumbers. We got plumbers. We got to find.
Yeah, he puts on an APB for plumbers. Yeah, Koopa does. And this old lady's like, "Do you this is a dangerous place. You guys shouldn't be out here so late. Do you guys have a weapon?" And they're like, "No, we don't." And she goes, "Good." And she quickly sticks him up.
She looks like a monster too. I don't know whose grandma that was. She's definitely not alive now, but she's a mess.
I think it was the old lady from Mama's Family.
I don't know what it was, but her face should have been instantly a, whoa, you back up. You've got crazy old lady face.
So the old lady basically tries to stick him up.
Mm-hmm.
She notices Luigi has the necklace, and she wants it. Then a very large lady walks up behind the old lady, picks her up, and tosses her over the side of the railing. There's a lot of levels to this town.
Yeah, this is built on levels.
So keep in mind, they were on an upper level, they fell down, and now they're on a level where a woman picks up this old lady and throws her down another level.
Onto a car, like a convertible. And she proceeds to fight the guys in the car.
Yeah,
for no reason whatsoever.
She takes her gun and then attacks the driver.
What was the point of that? She could have just landed in a trash can and I'd have been like, haha, take that old lady. Instead, it was like this fight scene with her and these goons, with her like shocking them and stuff. I was like, okay. We're following this lady beat ass now? Right.
So the lady who saved the Mario Brothers from the old lady proceeds to take the rock for herself.
Yep.
And then she uses some jump shoes, jumps across a huge gap, and now she's walking on the walkway across the way, looking over at him all sassy.
This scene is my turd moment of the movie.
This was it.
This was it. This is a horrible looking scene of her jumping, floating it in the air, looking back at them.
She's not on strings.
Rigid as a board, straight up and down.
Not on strings.
She's got these huge shoes on. It looks absolutely terrible. And when she lands, there's, like you said, there's attitude of her looking back at them. I've got written here, horrible scene. And this is where, if you're going to go see this movie, you're like, this is 100% not what I expected this movie to be.
No, not at all.
Where they're at, what they've been doing, what they're chasing, the story behind it. You've just found out about Koopa and this alternate dimensions, melding worlds, meteorites, dinosaurs, germs.
All this is straight canon from the game.
Fuck it. Get the hell out of that theater. That's the moment there where, like, if we were watching, I'd been like, shh, we're out. Like, this is shit. Because I really hate this lady that took that thing. Her name is Big Bertha. Which
is another reference from the game.
Okay, I don't know that one.
I don't remember it either, but they said that was a reference from the game.
So right here, you should not be watching the film anymore. But we pushed on. We pushed on.
Yeah.
So Daisy is taken by these small head. They're huge, like burgundy jacket freaks. They got huge shoulders and spikes. They got these little tiny itty bitty like dinosaur heads, like dinosaur men heads.
Yeah, they're like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they have the heads of what Beetlejuice looked like at the end of Beetlejuice when his head was shrunk.
That's right.
They have these little dinosaur heads on top of these 8 or 9 foot bodies.
And I'm sitting there thinking, hey, that's not a bad design because maybe up on top, all that body up there's not a whole bunch of organs, and their heads are so small you can't get a headshot on them.
Okay.
You can't get a bead on their heads if you're going to shoot them in the head.
All right.
So maybe it's a strategic design for not getting headshots. Yeah, they are. They're taken by these small-headed, big-bodied dino men, is what I've got written. These are Goombas.
Mm-hmm.
And she's placed with the other women. These are the women that have been kidnapped in Brooklyn because they're looking for this Daisy.
You skip Toad.
Oh God, I've got him down here. They've got Mario's girl there too, and then this is where they meet up with Toad, which.
At any rate. Yeah, the Mario Brothers get arrested.
Yeah.
And the reason they're arrested is because the APB's out for plumbers. Mm-hmm. And the cops spot them because they stop to arrest a guy who's playing a guitar. And he's singing about how Koopa sucks.
Right.
And he goes by the name of Toad.
Which is a reference to the game.
Doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Again, this is another, we're going to throw a reference to the game. This character looks nothing like what he is. It's all stupid.
Yep.
This is shit.
And they're taken to booking at the police department.
Yep, and here we finally learn, after all these years,
the legend of the secret is going to be revealed.
What is Mario's first name?
Or what is his last name?
Well, obviously his last name is Mario because the game is called Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
So that's their last name.
So what's his first name?
Mario.
So it's Mario.
His name is Mario and Luigi Mario.
I see. Ass. That's what it is. It's ass. Oh, God, it's shit.
This movie's ass.
And this is the thing, too, guys. This is the whole thing about this movie, too. While this is all going on, all around them is pure, chaotic, non-making sense bullshit. People doing weird stuff. People all of a sudden just riding a bike and slamming into stuff. Like, it makes no sense. People all of a sudden, like, skateboarding and crashing into something. A dude, like, there's another woman beside him, and she's, like, putting the boot of her shoe into his side of his head while he's talking. It's just like complete.
He's the booking officer.
What do these people do in this city? Oh my God!
So Toad's in the background. He's getting roughed up like hippies normally do.
Yeah, that's understandable.
He's they probably threw him in a cell with Lucius somewhere. Yeah. He's getting roughed up, and he's yelling that the fungus is choking the city.
And there comes a scene here where they do the old. All right, we're going to strip you, we're going to stick you with things, we're going to throw things on you, we're going to spray you with water.
It's the delousing.
Yeah, it's the Rambo scene, is what it is.
Yeah.
Ramped up with cocaine, I believe, or some sort of acid.
So we cut to a scene where they're in a cage. Yep. They're like basically in stacked up kennels, and Toad's above them, and he's singing about how he's with 2 brothers from another dimension. They're like, whoa, what do you mean another dimension? And of course, now we have to hear the story again.
Yay.
This is like the 3rd time in the film. We had it at the very start of the film, in the 8-bit opening.
But they haven't heard it.
We had it with Koopa. And yes, now, thanks to exposition, we're uselessly hearing it for a 3rd time. This is the problem with having so many different scripts. They were like, "Oh, we've got to cut that out."
Yeah, let's remind people about the dimensions. The dimensions is hard to grasp onto. Well, sir, they shouldn't actually be there. You shut the hell up. They're going to be in there.
Toad informs them that they're in another dimension and that the fungus is actually the former king of the kingdom, de-evolved. He has it all figured out.
Yep. He tells them that the fungus is among us. All right.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening. This is the end of the podcast. We're done.
Oh, Jonathan.
That was a band that used to be around here, people. A local band. Fungus Among Us.
Yeah. They're brought before Koopa, but it's not Koopa. He introduces himself as Lizard, right? Or Lizard or something?
Gary Lizard of Lizard and Lizard Attorneys at Law.
Yeah,
he's basically posing as their public defender.
Yeah, he gives them their tools back.
Yeah.
That'll sway them to whatever I need them to do.
Yeah.
He wants to know where the meteorite is, and they're like, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? So he instantly goes into a rage and attacks Luigi.
Yeah. And it shows Toad in a contraption. He becomes de-evolved.
He's in the de-evolution chair.
Yeah, it's got to evolve and de-evolution. De-evolve.
Yeah.
And he becomes a small-headed Goomba. It's some very bad CGI of his face being morphed and moved around. Stretched. It's terrible to look at.
Keep in mind, okay, we're talking about morphing technology. This was a year after Terminator 2 came out. And this is what we had to look at.
Low budget. And idiots making the movie doesn't help either.
Yeah, this
James Cameron, and then these fucking idiots. And then Koopa tells him that he evolved from the T-Rex. So in essence, this is the thing. We evolved from monkeys.
Yep.
They evolved from dinosaurs that survived.
Yep.
So they still look like humans. So dinosaurs... So let me get this straight. So
dinosaurs.
So did we evolve from dinosaurs? No. We evolved from monkeys.
Correct.
But the end result was us being
the same.
Humans.
It's the same.
Okay. So these dinosaurs that supposedly maybe evolved into birds is what the notion is?
That's what it is nowadays, yes.
They evolved into us.
Yep.
So either way you cut it, you end up looking like us.
Which gives me a theory. Mm-hmm. Everything's backwards. The universe started with humans, okay? And the past is actually our future. Right. And we're all going to de-evolve into these other things.
My eyes have gone cross-eyed. And so, he tells them that he evolved from the T-Rex.
And that explains why the entire movie, Dennis Hopper, when he's standing there talking to people, stands with little short T-Rex arms.
Yeah, they're kind of up around his chest.
He has his elbows tucked to his sides, okay? Mm-hmm. And he has his hands raised up. His arms are slightly elevated with his hands facing straight down. Mm-hmm. And he basically looks like he has little T-Rex arms.
Well, Mario and Luigi are going to fight his ass, and that's when they fucking brawl with him.
We're watching this film, people.
Yeah. And
this is for you. I hate this movie.
What the hell have I got written here?
I don't know.
I got Koopa's pushed into a chain.
No, he was pushed into the chair. They pushed him into the chair, and they quickly hit de-evolve on Koopa. They switched it, and then they shove him up into the machine, and they take off running.
They make a run for it, yep. And Luigi sees some mushrooms and a little bomb on a string. A bomb-omb. Right?
Yep, bomb-omb.
Bomb-omb on a string.
And Luigi's convinced that the fungus was trying to give them the bomb.
Yeah. But Mario's too busy being like, let's go, Luigi! They zip around on a chain thing as Goombas shoot fire at them. There's a big action scene, and it's very hard to keep track of what's going on.
That's why I skipped straight to escaped in a cop car.
Yep, they get a police car, and they are wanted alien plumbers, and they're being chased by other cars. This is obviously one of those other production film companies that wanted to film this scene.
And this is another scene where what Brandon was talking about with these just fucking random shit.
Yeah.
In the middle of this chase scene with like a lot of times when you see a chase scene, you'll see cars crash as a result of the chase.
Right.
Okay? There are cars that aren't even involved in this police chase that completely like fly off ramps and wreck into stuff, and it makes no sense.
Well, they land on top of another guy's car, and that guy just keeps on driving with a car on top of his car.
That's what you would do.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Oh, I got a car on top of my car. Oh.
You would keep going.
I gotta get to wherever the hell I'm going. Through lots of fire and explosions, they break out of the place. The spark budget was absolutely gargantuan in this movie. Tons of sparks, garish-looking sets.
I wouldn't say sparks so much as the fireworks budget, because that's all it was. It was fireworks taped to the front of some shit and just lit.
So after they thwart these cars that are chasing them, they go through a tunnel and it's full of this sticky stuff.
The fungus.
Yeah, the fungus. They go shooting out this tunnel off a ravine cliff. They're about to be, they're covered in this sticky shit, but that stuff goes, and it stretches them down. It slows their descent.
And right before they're about to hit the ground, they kind of just bounce back a little bit.
And they're saved by the fungus.
Saved by the fungus again.
Yep. And it switches to Koopa. He's relaxing in mud with his lady friend.
Yep, I put Koopa's in mud bath as Spike and Iffy report to him.
Iffy? That's not his name. His name's Iggy.
Thanks, autocorrect.
Oh, that's great.
It hated Iggy.
Yep, and he's like, they're in the desert, sir. Or something.
Yeah.
Well, no shit. Everything else is the desert.
Apparently. Yeah, everything that's not the town is the desert.
They're not in the town. Oh, okay. So, the Koopa's lady goes and gets Daisy, and she's in front of all those other women, and she's like, I'm looking for the princess, and it's you. You've got your mother's eyes.
Daisy's a princess?
She's a princess.
Well, the story's coming together now.
It really is. So Spike is to be evolved. Spike and Iggy both, because they're stupid. And they're going to evolve them and make them smart. So they put them in the chair. They hit the evolve button. They come out. Geniuses.
Yeah, Koopa's tired of their screwing up. Mm-hmm. And he thinks, well, maybe if I make them smarter, they won't be such morons.
They're both geniuses for just a sentence, a line that they both have that sounds smart.
Yeah.
And then they do nothing else smart.
Yeah, and then they'll continue to be morons throughout the film.
Yeah.
Also, this whole part was their idea. This is one of the examples of the actors going, I think it'd be a lot better, actually, if you made our characters smarter. And
that's why it's never seen again, because they were probably on some other script. The script had already been changed. They still needed them to be dumb. So,
yeah.
I hate this fucking film, is my next thing. This is an absolutely horrible scene here, once again. Let me catch my breath. All right. Daisy is told about her mother, and that she was the woman from the beginning of the film. She was the woman from the egg.
Daisy was?
Yeah.
I didn't even put that together.
She grew up, and the nuns took care of her.
This movie shit.
Yeah.
So the Mario Brothers are wandering the desert.
Yep.
And basically, Mario's like, where should we go? And Luigi's like, I think we should go over there. And he's like, great, we'll die there.
That's not bad.
Which I actually thought was kind of funny.
Daisy sees a dinosaur. It's a little animatronic dinosaur.
Yoshi.
It's Yoshi. He's chained up by a 700-meter long chain.
We'll get to that later. I put Yoshi, not Yoshi.
No, it's not Yoshi.
I put fucking Raptor, more like it.
Animatronics look okay at times from him, but
yeah,
the way his eyes moved and stuff, I guess. He had a couple more eye movements than
it's just not Yoshi.
No.
Again, it's force feeding us references to a game that you're not doing anything really with.
Yep. Koopa shows her, he's got the Daisy now, and he's showing her the globe of the world. That's where you see everything's a desert. And he's got a terrible long CGI tongue that pops out of his face.
All of Battlefield Earth.
Just like Battlefield Earth. That makes you want to punch yourself.
I put Koopa's creeping on Daisy. He's like really trying to get all up on her.
And for some reason, his face starts to change back into like a dinosaur face.
Yeah, well, he's a little bit unstable. Kind of still de-evolving, I guess.
Or evolving?
I think de-evolving. If he's going back to
so every
like
once in a while, you might look at me and I might look like a monkey or something. Like, why?
I don't know, man. None of the movie makes sense. Why are you trying to understand
Well, I guess he did go in that thing, that machine. They put
right,
him in
yeah, exactly.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, his face starts to change. Spike and Iggy, they're in a little tiny car that they can't figure out how to drive or something.
Yeah, this is where I wrote, Iggy and Spike are smart, but still idiots?
I guess so.
That's like, okay.
They crash in front of the brothers, and the brothers tie them up with their suspenders or whatnot. And you find out that Big Bertha has the meteorite, because they're kind of explaining the story to both of them about the meteorite, and they're like, oh, well, it's Big Bertha who's got the meteorite, and they took it from us.
Yeah. And at this point, by the way, they once again hammer home that the meteorite will merge the universes.
Yes.
We are told this again. This is the fourth time we're told that in the film.
We've really got to figure this stuff. They want us to really know this.
Right after that, my next quote was terrible pacing for a film. It's bad.
Yeah. It's really bad.
Like, I remember, I was the same as you. Like, just watching it, it felt like, my God, I just don't want to watch this anymore.
Oh, man. And I was like, Jonathan, let's go ahead and right off the bat tell me how long this movie is. And then several times I looked over at him and I was like, please, I want this over with now. So they knock some guys out that got a trash truck. I guess what happens is all the trash that the city makes, they just take it and just throw it outside the city. Or do they?
We'll come to that later.
They knock those guys out, they take their trash truck.
But yeah, I put they have to hijack a vehicle so they can sneak back into the city. But I was like, why do they have to do that?
They've got Spike and
They're with Spike and Iggy, who are Koopa's goons.
Yeah. Top goons.
Who, by the way, we should say they basically cut a deal with Spike and Iggy saying, if you guys get us Daisy, we'll give you the Meteor Rock.
Right.
Okay, so that's why they're working together.
Because they want to get Daisy.
But here's the thing. If Spike and Iggy just took them into the city, nobody would question it. They're Koopa, they are Koopa's head henchmen.
Who knows?
So it's like, why are they having to hijack a vehicle and sneak back into the city?
Script 42 had that plot device.
Stupid.
So yeah, they sneak back in the trash truck, and one thing that you pointed out, that all the cars kind of run like bumper cars, where they've got these wires across them, above them, and they touch the wires and it sparks them with energy.
It's like an electric grid that the cars run off.
This trash truck had a bunch of sparks, but nothing above it.
Yeah, it's like way outside the city. There's nothing above it, yet it's still sparking.
Who knows? Switch over to them. They're in terrible yellow and red suits.
Yeah, but the suits they get Mario and Luigi are awful.
They're in a nightclub, dance club.
Mm-hmm.
Love is a Drug is playing.
Yep.
The song Love is a Drug.
And strippers are dancing everywhere.
Yeah, they got strippers to film this scene.
Literal strippers, people.
Yeah.
They needed people to fill out this dance club. So in Wilmington, North Carolina, where they shot the film, they went to strip clubs.
That's stripper heaven, too. Wilmington, North Carolina's got the best strippers in the world.
So they went to these strip clubs, and they hired a bunch of strippers to play extras in this scene. Again, this is a kid's film.
Yep. They see Big Bertha, who I personally loathe, and she punches Mario in the face. He goes back for more.
Yeah.
He starts slow dancing with Bertha.
Yep.
This is abhorrent, what you're watching.
Yeah, I wrote Mario and Big Bertha dance. He snakes the rock, tits prominently featured.
Yeah, and his face in said tits.
And then I wrote kids film.
Yeah.
Again.
Like, this is a point of the movie. You've hit turd moment 2. This is a moment, if you stayed past turd moment 1, you were like, this is a Super Mario Brothers movie, you dumb sons of bitches.
Is it? Question mark.
And we're watching Mario slow dance with this huge woman, looking at her tits, looking at this meteorite rock with this music full of people in this nightclub, in this alternate dimension, in this fuck. You know what I mean? It was a moment where I was just like, incredible scene that we're watching. So yeah, and then Walk the Dinosaur starts playing.
Only redeemable part of the movie.
Yep, we like that.
It's a good song.
Was Not Was is the name of the band, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct.
And he swipes the necklace. Yeah. Koopa woman shows up with some of her Goomba goons.
Yeah.
And something happens. It was really hard to keep up with. The editing is pretty poor, but the meteorite necklace gets dropped.
Yeah, the necklace basically gets hit, flies through the air. Koopa woman gets the necklace.
Right.
And Luigi's like, where's the necklace? And Mario's like, we'll get it later. And they're trying to escape from all these Goombas. My problem is, you came here specifically for the necklace.
You need the necklace.
You've now lost the necklace, but it's like, we'll get it later. Why'd you even come here now?
I don't know. I guess because now it's swarming with Goombas.
It's stupid.
They go into like a side room, and Bertha's there, and she tells them to use the stompers. These are these boots that make you jump high. So, Luigi sees another bomb after they jump out of the club. They jump up out of the window, like the
skylight.
Yeah, skylight of the room. That's convenient. 2 of them, so that both you and your brother can jump up with stompers on.
Right.
They jump up out of, and they land. Luigi sees another bomb in the fungus, and they jump down into a trash truck as it goes by.
Yep.
The railing. Koopa talks to some sludge slime thing in the ceiling of some room. There's this horrible fungus up in the top of this room. There's a chair, fancy looking chair, in this white room. Fungus is there, and he's talking to this fungus creature that moves and comes down. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, and
like
this
snot.
is the fungus that you've seen spreading throughout the entire city.
It doesn't look like fungus to me.
It doesn't. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I don't know. It looks like shit.
Come to find out, it's the king, de-evolved.
Right.
Toad was right.
Yeah, it's the king de-evolved, and the brothers are now dumped at the bottom of Koopa Tower.
Because that's where we dump the trash.
Yeah, you dump it right outside the tower of your main boss.
Yeah, exactly. If I was running an entire city, basically a world, if you think about it, I'm running the world. Where do I want my trash dumped?
Throw it way over there. Way over there.
You know what? Let's put it right below where I live. Put it right at the base of where I live.
Lazy. He's got nothing but lazy workers.
This is one of the worst plot devices in the film.
It's terrible.
They are literally dumped at the base of the tower where they need to be.
And they look up and they're like, swell.
She's in there somewhere.
Great. So they get their sneak on.
Yep.
They mess with some pipes to fuck the place up.
Yeah, they basically turn off all the heat in the place.
I don't know if that really did anything.
Well, it froze up that one air conditioning duct that they found later.
Good for them. They find some new threads in a cabinet, right?
It looks just like their clothes from the game.
It does not.
Okay.
It's green and red. This is a moment of gearing up scene. Here we are in our outfits. Which I can't believe that these two fucking people who made this movie didn't want them to be in their outfits. How does that make any sense?
And then this was their compromise to mostly give you their outfits, but not really exactly right.
I've got an idea. Bruce Wayne movie. No Batman. Just Bruce Wayne. Let's make him look like Bruce Wayne throughout the whole movie.
Wait, isn't that basically Gotham that's on Fox?
No, because he's a boy.
But I'm just saying, let's do something in the Batman universe, but let's not have Batman in it.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, so they find these new threads. They're in an elevator with the Goombas.
I'm going to let you take this. I was too insulted to write anything down.
Yeah, this is rough. They're in a huge elevator. This elevator could have livestock in it.
Time out. Probably, cargo elevator, probably for starters.
Yes.
Secondly, it really needs to be that big, given the fact that how big these Goombas are.
These Goombas are massive.
Yeah.
And I hated the ones that had the more snake-like heads than the more dino heads.
Than the round heads.
Yes.
You hated the John Kerry heads versus the round heads.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they're in the elevator. They sneak into the corner as Goombas walk in. Okay, more and more Goombas walk in. They hide behind their big bulbous bodies. And I've got written here, this movie never should have been made. It just never should have been made. This was not the time, the place, the skill, the talent, the actors, the script. None of it. The locale. None of this movie should have been made.
Yeah.
They really jumped the gun, and this thing should never have fucking been made. So, the Goomba woman, it has the meteorite now. It shows her with it. And then it switches back to the elevator, and they're kind of whispering to each other. These things are obviously a little bit deaf in this elevator. There's some music playing. And Luigi, he's like, no, I got it. He starts grabbing the Goombas from the back, and he starts swinging with them with the music. And that makes the other ones start swinging. And then so he goes over to the other set of Goombas. He starts doing the same thing. I want to know the thought process behind this scene. I really do. Like, this is what we're going to write. This is what we're going to do. I must see him make these Goombas dance. Mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. I've got it here. Luigi starts to sway the Goombas with the music. Exclamation.
Well, dude, this is straight out of the game, and I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
This is from Super Mario Bros. 3.
I love it.
It's when Mario uses the magic flute. That's what happens. Goombas dance.
I guess so. So the Koopa woman tries to stab Daisy. Yoshi's tongue comes out. It's about 12 feet long.
That's funny. I put 8 feet. I put 8 foot tongue.
I went for maximum.
Yoshi saves her with an 8 foot tongue.
It's obviously not that long, but I wanted to go for absurd amount for comedy reasons.
Yeah.
He saves Daisy, but instead he gets shanked by her. Yeah. So here's Yoshi, little kid watching Yoshi get plugged in the side by some sort of blade or something. I don't know.
A knife.
He gets stabbed.
Well, first of all, let's talk about the fact it's a kid's film, and she's threatening to cut Daisy's neck.
Yeah.
And then she stabs Yoshi.
Yeah, a little baby dinosaur.
This is a kid's movie.
Who is in all seriousness probably like a 6 on the cute factor. Like a 1 to 10. He's like a 6. He's a cute little guy. And he takes the hit, and he makes a little sweet, that type things. Yeah, it's a kid's movie. Of course, now kids' movies practically have everything in it, but
not in 1994.
No, the Goombas start dancing with each other as the brothers escape out the top of the elevator.
Okay.
And they actually literally turn to each other, hold each other, and start dancing in the elevator. And this is just like, we have no clue how to get them out of this elevator. Guys, let's really brainstorm this. And some guy was, they're dancing to the music. I like it. Let's go with it. So Toad, you know what they could have just done? Gone up through the elevator. Gone up through the top of the elevator. They didn't need to. They weren't even looking. They didn't even hear. They didn't mind someone touching them from behind. If I'm in an elevator and somebody puts their hands on my hips, I think I'll be like, Jonathan, not now.
Let me pitch you this idea for the movie.
Okay.
How about instead of backing ourselves into a corner with this stupid scene, we just don't have any Goombas interrupt them, and they get from one floor to where they're going with no problem.
Exactly. Why was this scene even there? Why is the red bat even there? I agree. It's a good idea. They need to remake this movie and take that scene out. Okay, so...
Please don't ever remake this movie.
No. So Toad's there, and so Toad because he still has his harmonica around his neck. And several times he plays the harmonica without any type of mouth being on the harmonica.
Yeah.
You need a mouth on a harmonica to make it work.
It is called a mouth harp.
Oh, okay. I've got... all right. And he's kind of been sweet on Daisy, I guess, maybe, or try to...
I guess, or he's keeping his nature. He's just trying to be nice.
And he offered her meat, and she was like, "Nah, I'm a vegetarian, dude."
So then he comes back with a plate of vegetables.
And then, Yeah, and then he's caught on fire by 2 Goombas that shoot that catch him on fire for some reason.
Yeah, well, they're shooting. They see her out of her room.
Yeah,
not supposed to be happening.
So
they instantly pull out their incinerators and start firing fireballs at her. But
do they need her alive?
No, really, they don't. I mean, I guess.
What's the point of her even being in this fucking movie? All he needs the meteorite. Once she's
but she's the only person who can put the meteorite in. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
But they don't know that at this point. I don't think.
And then
so, anyways, they're shooting fireballs, and fucking Toad gets lit up.
How does she not know that Toad's transporting her someplace? She needs to be deloused or something. I don't know. Like, he could have been transporting her. And they're just like, kill him. And
because he's just holding a plate of food.
Spike and Iggy's there.
Yeah. So while Toad's on fire, she runs around the corner, gets the only fire extinguisher ever seen in the entire film.
And it's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner from where Toad's caught fire.
Oh, boy, this film is ass.
So she puts Toad out. Spike and Iggy argue about who should be helping her. And by the time she's done putting him out, they're like, all right, let's get her. And then she comes back around the corner, and they lead her out. Well, they lead her to her father.
Yep, they should. This is your father. This big slime fungus thing in the middle of this room is your dad. He was de-evolved. All the way back to fungus. Possibly among us. Now, I've got here, there's a crazy scene in a shaft. It's a shaft full of this fungus stuff. And Luigi thinks he can fly. So he just jumps. As when he jumps, all of a sudden he's just suspended in air.
Yeah, I put Luigi tricks Mario into certain death.
Yeah, pretty much.
His brother.
He's like, I'm flying, Mario. I'm flying. And then it shows, oh no, he's got like a big crane hook on his back.
Yeah,
it's
so
caught into his suspenders.
Somehow he jumped through the air, and his belt caught onto this crane hook.
And he probably weighs, what would you say? Let's be 160?
Yeah, 160, 170.
We'll say he wants 160, okay? I'll give him 150. He doesn't realize that his suspenders is now holding up 150 pounds?
Oh, no. You're talking about Mario doesn't realize
Luigi.
that?
Luigi
no,
does,
I think
doesn't
No. Luigi knew.
Did he?
Yeah, because when Mario goes to jump, he's like, "Don't jump!
That's
I'm hooked on thing."
Right at the last minute, he does.
Well, I think he knew all along, and he was just joking around with Mario. That's the way I looked at it.
Jeez. Anyway,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying he tricked his brother to certain death.
Jesus Christ! Well, he jumps. Of course, Mario falls. He lands on a stretched out thing of fungus, and it looks terrible with him jumping up and down. Absolutely terrible. Obviously, strings. Really, really bad. Yoshi shows up in Daisy's dad's slime fungus room.
Yeah, throne room. So this comes into play of his collar where he's chained up. Apparently, it's like
chain.
Like you said, 900 meters long.
Why do you have him chained up?
He can walk anywhere in the building, but he's still chained up.
Who the fuck is he? What's the fucking point of this critter running around?
I would have just cut the chain and walk the dinosaur.
That's true. So Daisy messes with some techno crud. It looks terrible. Whatever it is, some machinery.
Yeah.
She's trying to contact Luigi, Mario, and Mario.
Yeah.
And she's over the loudspeakers or something. Luigi sees more mushrooms, so mushrooms are everywhere, and they're obviously trying to hit you over the head with this whole mushroom thing.
Yeah, Luigi still believes that the fungus is trying to communicate with him.
They find the Daisy because, of course, like I said, she's been trying to communicate with him. And she introduces them to her fungus father. Here's my dad. Her fungus dad is the one giving them the mushroom and the bomb. He's been trying to help them. So I guess even though he's returned to fungus, he knows what's going on. He can plant things certain places. Fungus can't do this. That's like trying to say, who's driving that car? Oh, I've been de-evolved back into a monkey. Monkeys can't drive cars. Not that I'm aware of. How is this fungus doing any of this? On a scientific level, this doesn't work. I've just realized that. This movie doesn't work on a scientific level because this fungus can't do any of this shit. Boy. So, the Koopa woman gets grabbed by the Koopa cops.
Yeah.
And the necklace is taken from her.
Yeah. It's going to be returned to King Koopa.
Yep. You got it?
Daisy essentially informs Mario and Luigi because they all meet up. I don't remember how they met back up. I guess she saw them on the security camera and she went to wherever they are. We'll say that. She informs Mario, what about your girlfriend? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot about her. I said I would take her to WrestleMania.
Is that what he said?
He did. Remember? Because I made the comment about how if this came out today, there'd be a WWE crossover.
With a racist Hulk Hogan.
And Bob Hoskins. So he's
this
like...
was 93?
94. So the movie came out.
With the Owen brother been there?
Yeah, he was still alive at that time.
Macho Man would have been there.
93? Yeah, I think he was still there.
And then what about the guy who murdered his family or something? Or his kid?
No, Chris Benoit wasn't in WWE back then.
He was what was he?
WCW.
WCW.
Back then. Alright, so anyways, she basically says, your girlfriend's here. And he's like, what do you mean she's here? And then that's when she tells him that the 7 missing girls are all here.
Yeah.
So they got to go save them. So Mario heads off to save his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He somehow sneaks into the room where... You got a real face right now.
I'm really happy. I see the bottom of my notes.
Yeah. So Mario sneaks into the room somehow. I don't know. Once again, everything's tiered and
His
leveled.
stunt double sneaks into the room.
So he's on a catwalk above the Goomba that's guarding the door. And he tells his girlfriend, I'm going to get you out. And she goes over and tells the girl, now be quiet, but my boyfriend Mario's here. And he's going to get us out of here. And she's like, what? And all of a sudden she looks up and sees him. And what does she do?
Mario!
My God.
She should have said, Mario!
And of course, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
In which Goomba starts shooting fireballs. Because that's all they have. More references to the game. They've all got incinerators. None of it makes sense.
And the incinerators are Super Scope 6s, right?
No, that's the de-evolution.
De-evolutionary. Okay, whatever. All I wrote here, spring the women after beating up Koopa.
Yeah, sure, go with that. No, Goomba.
Oh.
Beating up Goomba.
Okay.
Koopa's the king.
That's right. Koopa's given the necklace.
Yeah.
Here's your necklace, dude. And then all of a sudden they're using a mattress that these ladies had to slide down this huge, huge pipe.
Air conditioning duct.
The music is ramped up.
Yeah.
And there's cameras that are used in front and back as... Mario and surrounded by all these ladies, sexy time ladies on this mattress are sliding down this pipe. Goombas are behind them in a comical sense, and the camera switches from in front and in back as they're sliding through this huge, useless, unknown pipe. What the fuck is it doing in this movie?
Yeah.
Except to make this scene. This is obviously filmed at a Ramada Inn somewhere fancy, where they've got one of these water slides. These huge water slides. And, Jesus.
I haven't seen a Ramada Inn since about the time this movie was made.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why that makes sense. Goombas give chase is what I said.
Sure.
And they crash into the middle of the street that's full of people in the middle of the...
Yeah, and not only that, but I guess at some point Daisy and Luigi got picked up by Koopa.
Yeah.
So when they crash, we see them fly out to a terrible blue screen.
And then terrible, string
system.
String
of, very slow descent. They're on the magic carpet / mattress. And they crash into Koopa, freeing Daisy and Luigi.
That's pretty useful.
Convenient.
That's super convenient.
That this air conditioning duct exited right where they needed to be.
And you got to think, when you're walking at a place, how's that going to be that you're going to line that right up with where they're walking and hit them? And you could see them coming from a mile away. They were going about 4 miles per hour in the sky. So they crash in the middle of the street full of people. They shoot missiles or some shit. And they knock Koopa into a crane platform thing. We couldn't really figure out what it was. It almost looked like something that you maybe fill full of cement and then pour it.
Yeah, you open a thing and it drops the cement down or something.
I wonder where they got that. Maybe I don't know.
It was a cement factory.
Maybe it's the cement factory they were filming this shit in. Mario jumps on top of it. He's going to fight Koopa.
Yeah.
He's tired of this dude's ass, and he's going to beat his ass. So the necklace falls and is caught by the Koopa woman.
Yeah.
She then falls, because she's trying to grab it as it's falling.
Right.
And she lands into some sort of electric system, and she's electrocuted. Straight out of fucking Bride of Frankenstein. Hair all puffy with the white streak in it.
Yeah.
And then she runs off insane down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Going to the place where the meteorite hit.
Yep.
Now, is that where the meteorite hit?
Yeah, it crashed. Allegedly, because she tells a story to Luigi at the start of the movie when they go to the dig site, allegedly the meteor that killed all the dinosaurs landed right there in Brooklyn.
So it killed all the dinosaurs in our dimension, and they lived in theirs.
Well, it pushed some of the dinosaurs into that dimension.
Right, and it is roughly about 10 feet in diameter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that little meteorite did that. Okay. All right. I'll go with it. So, she runs down insane. She wants to go into our dimension.
I think that's the only part of the meteorite we saw that was unearthed. That's what it was.
Okay.
So meanwhile, Luigi's leading all the girls out. Getting them to safety.
And Mario and Koopa are on a walkway after there's a tussle or some shit.
Yeah.
And he's got a bomb on. He's got that bomb on. And he winds it up, and it starts walking forward. It falls down a grate, and it shows it down the grate still walking underneath this place. Jonathan's done a big yawn, and it's understandable. It's quite late. And we've been through hell and back.
Yeah, we have.
So the women are jumping through the gateway to get out.
Yeah.
All right? The Koopa woman is shocked as she tries to do the meteorite key thing to open up the dimension.
But apparently only the princess can do it.
Yep. And she's all of a sudden, her body is thrown into the wall. All of her muscles and skin and everything just explodes off her except for her bones, and she's
fossilized
against the wall.
As is her frizzy hair.
Yeah, I say she is comically electrocuted by this thing, and then she's turned into a skeleton fossil up against the wall.
So she forced the rock in, though, which caused all this. Now, Koopa and Mario start to disappear, and this is where I wrote Worlds Collide.
Yep.
George Costanza, Worlds Collide.
What does it sound like when worlds collide? Okay. Yeah, they start to meld together through some bad CGI of their bodies kind of discombobulating.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, Mario and Koopa appear in Brooklyn, right at the Scapelli dig site. Scapelli's there. Dennis Hopper's super excited. We see a bad transition of the Twin Towers getting halfway wrecked and destroyed, because that's the way they are in Mushroom Kingdom, or whatever the fucking place is called.
What?
Manhattan, but bad Manhattan. Why
would they be? Why would they be there? Why would some?
Because they built the Twin Towers too.
What?
I don't know.
Well, my thing is this: why did they appear up above? Why?
Up on the surface?
Yeah, they would be down in the ground. Underground. They would still be in the ground
for dramatic effect. Because what happens is this: Koopa's all excited that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a couple Goombas with him.
Yep. And what are the cops doing?
They're holding back the crowd. The crowd.
Yeah, you don't want to worry about these huge freaks with small little dino heads. You're going to worry about the crowd. Come on, ladies.
And the fact that people materialized
out of thin air.
Also, by the way, why are cops even there? It's not like they knew that people were going to magically appear.
Well, they told the women, go tell them that the Goombas are coming, is what Luigi says. They're going to go, okay, lady, come on. The rubber room for you. You know what I mean? They're going to throw you into the funny farm.
So Dennis Hopper pulls out his Super Scope 6.
Chevy Chase. Okay.
Dennis Hopper pulls out his Super Scope 6, and he blasts Scapelli and de-evolves him into a primate.
Yep.
A.k.a. chimpanzee.
Which I don't believe we came from chimpanzees, but it's okay.
At any rate, the whole crowd laughs.
We're seeing something horrific, and it's funny.
Because that's what you would do.
Yeah.
If you saw somebody blast somebody with a gun that turned them into a monkey, you would have a good laugh at that monkey while the police are holding you back, doing nothing.
Well, the police didn't see. They're too busy holding back the crowd. I don't know what's happening behind me, but I hope it's... it's hijinks, is it? I'll turn around and look.
This entire scene's madness.
It's terrible. Oh, boy.
So, back in the Mushroom Kingdom, or fucking wherever the hell that is.
Back to the Dino World. Because they're taken off, and they're taken back to the Dino World.
Well, it's because Luigi and Daisy are trying to get the rock out of the meteor.
Right.
So, as soon as they pull it out, the worlds separate. They get sucked back into that world. Koopa and Mario continue their fight.
Now, here's something I don't understand. Why is just these people switching dimensions?
I don't know.
Why would Mario not stay back in his own dimension?
Why would other people that were watching Koopa and Mario fight in Dino World not go with them? Like, I mean, a couple Goombas went, but why didn't all the other people that were there? Or why didn't all the people that were at the dig site get sucked back with them? I mean...
Script 44. That's the only thing I can think of. It was written somewhere else.
So,
okay, yeah.
The Bum-Bum continues to walk this whole time. It's been walking. It's been walking. It walks up a wall.
That makes sense.
Then it walks upside down across a walkway.
Yeah, it's underneath the grate now.
It's underneath the grate of the catwalk that they're fighting on. It stops right underneath Dennis Hopper.
You know a good way to stop these Goombas? Music. Remember, we've already seen them dancing to music, so Toad starts playing music with his harmonica.
Yep, and they all just start dancing instead of helping Koopa.
They can't help themselves.
Yeah, they can't.
Big Bertha knocks them down. She enters the fray and knocks some Goombas down.
Okay.
Yeah, the bomb is upside down underneath, and it explodes.
Thank God.
And it sends Koopa skyward.
Yep. And where's he land?
He lands into that fucking cement thing. And it's a quiet moment of, what's going to happen? And they're showing it from different sides. And all of a sudden, he pops up, and he's a huge dino beast. That's what I wrote. He's a huge, badly computer-generated dino beast.
It's probably some of the worst computer generation I've ever seen in a movie. I've seen better things on Sci-Fi Channel.
It looked like a T-Rex to me.
It was not a T-Rex.
Okay.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't a T-Rex. I would actually say he looked closer to Koopa from Super Mario Bros. 2.
Well, I got something right now.
I mean, a little bit cartoony. It was almost cartoony, but terrible. It was just terrible.
Huge teeth.
Mario and Luigi both have Super Scope 6s, which are de-evolution guns, and they blast it. Yep. Luigi aims, Mario shoots from the hip.
Yeah, he shoots, doesn't really aim much of it, but it still does the same thing.
Yep.
It hits him and it turns it into slime.
Yep, Koopa is
primordial
de-evolved all the way to goo.
Yeah,
that's what I put.
Primordial ooze. I've got right here Mario and Luigi Mario. That's their names.
Yep.
They jump together because I think Luigi's the only one that's got his stompers on.
He's got stompers on.
So he stomps. Mario's standing on his feet.
Yeah.
And they jump, and Luigi's giving the peace sign
or the V for victory sign,
which they often do in the video game. Is the V.
And Mario's waving like a prom queen.
Yep, and they're kind of floating across the crowd as everybody's
on
cheering.
Strings.
Yay! We were going to vote for that guy, but you killed him instead and turned him into slime.
The whole town celebrates Koopa's death.
It's a very poor looking scene.
Okay.
And
we cut to the king, Daisy's father, and he suddenly evolves back into his normal form.
Why?
I have no idea.
Plot. It was written in plot.
It's just the end of the movie. Well, you know what happened? This is the page of the script. Like, they got to the end of the script. Nothing written, so people just scribbled with crayons.
Yeah.
They wrote the rest of the script in crayon.
Yeah. Probably their own blood.
It's like the king is back.
Yeah, and who's their father?
Lance Henriksen.
Who is that? For people who don't know,
he's known from many movies, popular films such as Pumpkinhead, Aliens.
Who did he play in Aliens?
Bishop, the android.
I see.
So yeah, there you go. And he was also on the hit Fox show Millennium.
Oh, okay. Came on Friday nights, killed it.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. I guess you don't like the cornbread either. All right, so Daisy wants to stay, of course.
Yep.
Luigi's like, but I love you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, dude, you had one date with her.
Yeah.
Most of this movie, you've been either trying to find her or been away from her and not really had much connection to her, but now he loves her.
Yeah.
That works.
It was love at first sight. If you recall, I wrote Luigi equals in love.
That's true. He wants to be with her. And then I've got written here, farewell.
Yeah, they leave her behind, and Yoshi waves goodbye to him.
Yep. Yoshi's like, goodbye.
I'm sorry, the pet dinosaur waves goodbye to them people.
What's Yoshi? He's got skills.
All right, that's it.
3 weeks later.
Oh, yeah, they're having dinner at the house.
Yeah, they're at Mario's crib.
What are they eating?
Spaghetti. It's spaghetti. So he's got his girlfriend's there.
Yeah.
Mario's girlfriend. Mario's girlfriend. In case you think I'm saying Luigi Mario. It's Mario.
Yeah.
He's got his girlfriend there, and she's cooking spaghetti. And then which I told you, the whole movie he should have had his actual voice. I would have liked to have seen Mario do his.
Terrible.
It's me, Mario. He should have talked like this through the whole movie. Which, by the way, I want to let you know, when I was doing my fucking shit about Leonardo da Vinci in Hudson Hawk with me going, hey, you set up in the machine. God, that's so crazy, dude. Oh, boy. And so, yeah. So, all of a sudden, Daisy, busts down through the door.
Yeah, I wrote Daisy shows up Terminator style.
I was ready for, a shotgun thing. I don't know if you noticed, but she grenades.
I did. I noticed.
Grenades, like a bandolier of grenades.
Which is funny, because those are the things that power the Stompers.
That's true. She shows up, and she's like, I need your help.
And they're like, really?
And Mario's instantly.
Yeah. And she's like, you're never going to believe this. And Mario's like, oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe. See, now he believes in all the craziness.
And I like how the fact that they couldn't even give her a different gun. They just gave her the gun that Koopa had in the movie.
Yeah.
Or was it the old lady's gun? I don't know.
No, it was Koopa's gun.
Okay. I don't know.
But it was Koopa's.
And I'm like, hold on. She's got a gun. She's got a bandolier full of grenades, and you're grabbing your fucking wrench? You're going to need something bigger to go in that.
Better yet, she's got a gun and a bandolier full of grenades. She walked those 8 blocks from the dig site all the way to their apartment. Didn't get stopped by the police. Brooklyn has the worst police in the world.
Cops eating a hot dog and seeing her and just pulling out the gun, blasting her. I don't think so, Missy. And so it goes to credits, and these credits has a song by, at the time, I guess, a popular band, Roxette.
I don't know.
The song is called Almost Unreal.
This movie was unreal.
Yep. Walk the Dinosaur is the best part of this film, and you hear it again in the credits.
I really don't have anything else to say about this movie other than the fact that it's shit. Much like you, I will probably never watch this movie again.
But you're missing out on the extra scene at the end. There's a little scene at the end of the credits. There's an extra scene in the credits to the Japanese guy.
Yeah, I remember.
They try to sell this video game story to Spike.
They're like, we want to take this story about you two guys and turn it into a movie and find out it's not Mario. It's not the Mario brothers. It's the Koopa cousins.
Super Goomba. It's bad. So that's it. That's the film. That's the end of the movie.
Yep.
How does this rank up there for you for bad movies?
Oh, it's awful.
It's really bad.
I definitely would say it's top 10.
Yeah. It's dreadful. And the thing is, one of the things is just so insulting. It's insulting to anyone that's played a video game. And that's the thing. There's not, obviously, like the articles we've read, there's not enough plot there in the video game to warrant them to make a movie like this. It's not like somebody right now is saying, I've got the perfect idea for a Super Mario Brothers movie. But they've already made one. It was a huge bomb. No, there's not enough. Unless it's going to be a cartoon, animated CGI movie or something like that. And it's truly going to be for kids. They didn't know what the fuck they were making when they made this movie. They threw everything into a pot. Nails, cement, goo, dinosaurs, fucking meteorites, dimensions. The whole kit and caboodle. And it came out one big, messy piece of shit. I hate this fucking film. It's a hatred. There was a hatred throughout this film where I was like,
I just didn't want to watch it. That was the biggest thing.
Why did you make me watch this?
I just didn't want to watch any more of it.
Why'd you make us do this?
Because it's really bad. We need it for the podcast. Honestly, though, I don't even think it gave us that great of a podcast.
Who knows?
This podcast has kind of sucked. Because the movie was terrible.
I guess so.
Our best work is when one of us really likes it and one of us really hates it.
But how many movies do we have like that?
I don't know, but we sure as hell had one last week.
It's pretty good.
And Last Action Hero.
But I thought throughout the whole thing, I liked it until the very end, because you said I liked it throughout the whole thing.
Which one?
Well, Last Action Hero, I was at it. I was numbed up. I was in a coma. That was all year. That was the Jonathan Randall show, is what that episode was.
Okay.
You held 90% of that episode.
Okay.
Which is it is a change. It's ultimately a change.
It's a rarity.
So let's tell the people. There it is. Super Mario Brothers. Never watch it. It won't be watched by me ever.
Yeah, again. And if you're going to buy a copy, at least buy the DVD copy so you can watch it in all of its terrible glory.
And enjoy those menus. Good luck moving through those menus. And so tell them the story. We're not going to be here next week.
Yeah, we're not going to be here next week. I got to go to Philadelphia for a wedding, so we'll be off again another week. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks we're going to watch, what is it? What did we say?
Your movie with Dan Aykroyd.
We're going to watch the Chevy Chase Dan Aykroyd offering of a little movie called Nothing But Trouble.
And I'm going to tell y'all now.
This movie is fucking awesome.
Jonathan likes it, I guess.
I do like Nothing But Trouble.
I think it's horrible. I think it's garish, terrible to look at. I loathe Nothing But Trouble.
You know what? I think I actually gave that movie to my sister. I'm going to have to get it back from her for us to watch it.
I'm going to need barf bags. I'm going to need jetliner approved barf bags. Like, these are going to have to be the ones that they put in an airplane for you to hold my puke. It is a terrible fucking movie. It's got fucking, what's his name? Humpty Hump in it, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Demi Moore
Digital Underground.
Demi Moore in that?
Demi Moore is in it.
So yeah, Nothing But Trouble.
Yep.
It is definitely Nothing But Trouble. And then after that...
John Candy's in it.
The late John Candy. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that, we've already planned out Leonard Part 6.
We're skipping all over the first... We're skipping right past the first 5 parts.
Yep.
Straight to Leonard Part 6.
And if people don't know what Leonard Part 6 is, it is a superhero movie...
starring rapist Bill Cosby.
With Bill Cosby. We're going to delve right into the Bill Cosby fiasco... And I'm certain there won't be any jokes about rape or anything about him or anything about that. But it's about him. He's a Batman type superhero in Leonard Part 6. And there's a good story to go along with that and the founding of what we had when I introduced you to Leonard Part 6. That's it. We got some real doozies coming your way. So yeah, no episode next week. Pure just brain bleeding horribleness of Nothing But Trouble. And then Leonard Part 6, which we'll both really rag. I don't think either of us think it's a good film.
Nothing But Trouble is amazing. It's real good, dude.
I can't deal with the prosthetics, dude. They're gross. It's like Rebel Wilson is in every single person.
There's no prosthetics in that movie.
Yeah, there are. Every person is played by Rebel Wilson.
All right, so everybody go out and buy Nothing But Trouble so you can all watch it together.
No, don't do it.
In 2 weeks.
No. Oh, boy. That's it, guys. How long is this one?
We're about an hour and a half in right now.
Oh,
by the way, John Candy plays a male and female part. He plays his own sister in the movie.
I can't deal with any of that.
He plays himself, and then he plays his sister in the movie.
I'd rather see Michael J. Fox playing his kids.
No, you wouldn't. You hated that.
That is bad. Okay, so that's it. I'm Savage GM on Twitter.
I'm Abe Randall on Twitter.
Go 8 Podcasts on Twitter.
Yeah, and like us on Facebook.
Yeah, we need
reviews,
one more.
Whatever.
We'll get one more about it. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Sorry there's not going to be an episode next week.
Yeah, tell your friends about us.
Jonathan's got a song that's coming in right now. And I'm going to say go Ape.
Go Ape.
Go Ape.
You can't